How's it going, everybody? So today is my first video. Um, doing something like this. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about today, so I figured I'd just speak from my heart, speak from my mind. Something I've noticed throughout the duration of my life is you can't try to do anything. You either do it or you don't, and it's that simple. I think many people fall into the category or fall into the lifestyle of saying they made an attempt and then quitting. And I've always just been told growing up that quitting is just another way to set yourself up for failure. An example I have of that is, sorry, I should rephrase that. Trying is just another way to set yourself up for failure, because either you try it and you fail or you do it. You don't try and succeed, you just succeed. An example of that, my high school football coach came up to me um, and I missed a tackle. He asked me, "Why did you miss that tackle, Chris?" And I said, "Well, I tried, coach." And he said, did trying get that tackle? Did trying make the tackle? Did trying stop the play? No, I don't want you to try. I want you to do. And yeah, while it's easier said than done, not everything in life can be equated to football. But I will say that was one of the bigger lessons I learned in my life is that you can try and fail multiple times. And I don't think failure is necessarily a bad thing. But don't go into it with the intention of just trying. Go into it with the intention of succeeding, killing that shit. I noticed from just the moments in my life where I believe that trying was enough. Saying I tried to hit the gym today. I tried to work hard today on my business. I tried to make friends without fully understanding that there was no progress. Trying is a mindset, in my opinion. Trying is a mental state. It's not an action. It's an excuse, if anything. And so, while this video is not going to be very long, I don't think. The main takeaway you should take from this is stop trying to do things and just do them. Either you fail or you'll succeed. But saying you tried and letting that be the final say so is really just saying, yeah, I gave up. I just gave up. I attempted it one time and gave up. That's what trying is. And so now that we've got that out of the way, let's move on to some bigger and better things. I read something, a book called, I think it was called Hell Yes or No. And the author said something along the lines of, fish don't know that they're in water. And I understand that oftentimes people get sucked up into the life that they're currently living without even realizing that there's an alternative, or without even realizing that they're in the situation that they're in. Many times you don't see your patterns until they're laid out in front of you, just like a fish will never see water until it's taken out of the water. And so in many circumstances in your life, you're going to face adversity, you're going to face tragedy, you're going to face misery, you're going to face failures. But until you actively get yourself out of that, you'll never know you're in that situation. And so the takeaway here is just to remain vigilant of your surroundings, to remain optimistic, and keep your head on a swivel. I don't have the correct phrases. I can't articulate it very well, obviously. But at the end of the day, if your head's not on a swivel, if you're not always looking for the next opportunity or the next step in the opportunities you're currently taking, you'll never see the trap that you're in, or the hole that you're in. And maybe you're not in a hole. Maybe you don't feel like you're in a hole. Maybe you don't feel like you're in a trap. But that's kind of the point of this message, is fish don't know when they're in water. Just like you won't necessarily know you're in a shitty situation until you actively take yourself out of that shitty situation. Another takeaway from that book that sits well with me is, he said, earn your title every day or you'll lose it. Continue to earn your title or you'll lose it. And that goes for everything. Whether you're a mechanic, whether you're a husband, whether you're a churchgoer, whether you're a friend, if you're not continuously, actively earning that title, proving that you are that churchgoer, proving that you are that good friend, proving that you are that good wife or husband, eventually you may lose that title. You may not be the husband or wife to that spouse anymore. You may not. I don't think churches excommunicate anymore. Um, and I don't think God casts away people. Maybe not in the way that we would. Um, but you can lose a piece of yourself, lose a little portion of yourself that was proud of who you are, a little piece of yourself that viewed you differently than you may view yourself now. And so I think in all aspects of life, you need to continuously, actively reach that title. Even if it's not daily, you're gonna mess up. You're gonna have mistakes. You're gonna wish that life was going a different way, which is another thing we could talk about. This video is all over the place. Um, is think about all the people on their deathbeds. Here's my biggest. If I don't give you anything, if you take nothing away from this video, um, if you take nothing away from this video, the main mantra I live in my life is do it anyways. Nike, I could say just do it and take Nike's thing, but just do it anyways. Whether you're tired, whether you're hungry, whether you're sleepy, do it and do whatever you want. That's my main mantra. Do whatever you want and do it anyways. There's no situation that you've encountered that you haven't won already. And even if you didn't, there's not a clear victory, you're still alive. That's a clear victory to me. A lot of people like to quote people on their deathbeds and they're like, oh, I wish I would have, you know, tried harder in life or whatever the case may be. And I do believe that you should do your best in life. But the more I think about it and the more I reflect on it, every person has deathbed regrets. The richest, the poorest, the happiest, the least happy. And so I try not to take those as life lessons, but more so as just the human condition. It is in our nature to want options, to want more than what we have. You'll hear billionaires on their deathbed talking about they wish they gave more time to their family. You'll hear poor people that gave all their time to their family wishing they would have put more time into work to build a legacy for their family to leave behind. You'll hear both of people who have both the family and the money wishing that they would have traveled or explored the world more to change their worldview or maybe live in a different country. But basically, my point is, you're always going to have regrets, regardless. If you can choose to live a life regret free, man, that's a beautiful life, I think. And that's why I say do what you want. Do what you want and do it anyways. Do what you want. Do what you want, regardless of what other people are saying. And even if people are saying negative things about the things that you're doing or the attempts that you're trying to make it, do it anyways. Because you only get one life. Who are you to allow the people around you to dictate who you become? Why would you give the power to someone else that's not in your position, domain over your life or domain over your brain? I think that's one of the worst thing as a bigger man. If you can't see, this is my first video, so maybe by my 100th video I'll look a little different. But as a bigger man, growing up, it was difficult for me to dress a certain way because everyone said, you can't wear those jeans, you can't wear those shorts, you can't wear those shoes. And I was never fully comfortable with who I was, even though I knew who I was, or at least I believed I did. And so do whatever you want. Wear the short shorts. That's not what I was wearing per se, but wear the short shorts, wear the tighter jeans, wear the collared shirt, wear whatever you want. It's like 90 degrees out and I'm wearing a sweater. Now, a lot of it's just because I want to sweat a little bit more. I just got done with the workout and I just want to keep my sweat going. But someone, I had a comment yesterday. I wore the same sweater. It's like 75, 80 degrees. And someone made a joke about me being hot or whatever. And it's like, yes, I am hot. But what does it matter? At the end of the day, like truly think about it. What does it matter what I'm wearing to these people? If I'm hot, I am hot. They're not going to get hot because I'm hot. Their temperature, how they feel, does rarely affects me unless they're standing right next to me, maybe. And so, that's not where I was going with this. But at the end of the day, just do what you want. Please keep it as legal as possible. Try not to go to prison and try not to go against your own morality. But do whatever you want. And regardless of what people say and how many negative comments you get, do it anyways. You get one chance, and there's no reason why any other human should have domain over your life or over your brain, your mindset, the way you think, the way you regulate your emotions, the way you express yourself. No other human being should ever have that domain over your life. And so, like I said, this video was all over the place. It was just me making my first YouTube video, just coming out, talking to people. But the main takeaways, man, don't try, just do it, man. Just do it. Stop saying you're going to try and just execute. That's the first takeaway. Second takeaway is you will never be able to see your bad patterns of life until you remove yourself from the situation. Fish don't know they're in water. So until you remove yourself from your current situation and try, or there's that word again, make an attempt, until you pull yourself out of that situation and do something else, you'll almost never recognize the negative patterns you do have in your life. And even the patterns you may not think are negative. I mean, me, myself, I was a weed smoker habitually for years. I loved it. I might still love it. Who knows? And I believe it was a great escape. And everyone told me that I was just escaping from my reality. And I would always say, maybe I don't like my reality. And as time passed, I realized I can just change my reality. First of all, change your framework and change your mindset, you change your life. But then if you actively, physically change things, then you really change your life. And I changed my life and I don't need weed anymore. So yeah, fish don't know that they're in water. Always continue to earn your title. If you view yourself as a hard worker, if you view yourself as a great spouse, a great friend, continuously work on that. Continuously, because you either get better or you get left behind. Those are the true cases. And then lastly, man, do what you want, and when people have something to say, do it anyways. When the odds are stacked against you, do it anyways. I doubt that many of the successful people had full support from everyone. I doubt that they never heard someone say a negative comment towards them or how they couldn't do it, how they weren't going to make it. You know what they did? What they wanted to, and they did it anyways. And so that wraps up the end of this video, my very first video. Maybe it'll go on YouTube, who knows? But I'm sure I'll touch these topics later on in life or later on in other videos, because these are things that I live by. Do what you want, do it anyways. Remove yourself from your environment sometimes to understand your patterns and what you're currently facing and how that affects you. Always continuously earn your title every single day. And then last, but definitely not least, don't try. Just do that shit. It's Chris. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if that's a thing that I'm doing. And you'll see more videos like this. Peace out.